Here's a scary story for you. Once there was a landlord who evicted her tenants for falling behind on rent. Shortly after the eviction, the landlord visited the unit.
What does this thing
There's
like?
flies.
There's fruit fly?
She slowly opened the door. And what did she discover?
Wow.
Flies, poop, odors, and an abyss of garbage that enveloped the floor. A mess like this could only be a reality in the new paranormal. Did you ever hear of the landlord who played favorites? She only did maintenance for her main tenants. My guest today is a loving wife, caring mother, and TikTok sensation after posting a series of videos documenting the devastation her former tenants left behind. Please welcome Shanna Ricketts. Shanna! What are 3 words you would use to describe your initial feelings when you first walked into that house?
I would say shocked, disgusted, and gosh, maybe overwhelmed.
I was in my room and saw 10 ants running frantically. I felt bad for them, so I built a house for them. This kind of makes me their landlord, and that kind of makes them my 10 ants. Get it? Tenants? 10 ants? Were you prepared at all for what you discovered?
It kind of had a feeling that it wasn't going to be clean. That's all I thought it was going to be. It was just not clean. So we had brought like a towel and cleaning supplies ready to like just clean some stuff up because they had told us previously that we're so sorry, it's not in good shape, and we just don't have any money right now to have the place cleaned. And they were also going to have stuff in there still that they couldn't, I guess, rent movers and whatnot to get all of that out. So we had an idea that there were things in there that it was not clean. We just did not know that it was going to be like that.
Double take to the nice kids' clothes.
And how did people react when you posted it on TikTok?
Okay, so the first TikTok now has over like 11 million views, which is crazy.
11 million? Whoa! That is some supernatural numbers.
And the responses they're very different. There are a lot of people that were like, I'm so sorry you had to go through this. And then there are people that are also shocked as well. And then there are like people on the opposite side where they're like, well, good for you, landlords, and get a real job.
Pay no mind to those trolls. By the way, what do you call a troll that's in charge? In control. Anyway, Shanna, your story picked up so much national attention, it made it into the Newsweek.
It was crazy because that's a big outlet, you know? So the fact that it got out there, it was crazy. And then after that, I was like Googling to see if it was anywhere else.
Was it anywhere else?
On like a Chinese news website and like other languages. I don't know.
What's the status of your place now?
Everything that needed to be taken out has been taken out. Everything that has been cleaned has been cleaned. So it's sanitary, at least now, to walk in there without a mask.
Thanks to the generosity of your family unit, no doubt.
Yeah, so to help with cutting down some of the large costs of the cleaning and just taking everything out, Chris, my husband, and my stepdad actually went in and they took out all of the laminate flooring and the kitchen cabinets, and that saved us about $3,000.
You should probably see a therapist after this whole ordeal. I fear you may have developed an apartment complex. What advice do you have for other landlords to avoid this situation?
Okay, so my number one advice for homeowners or anyone that's going to be renting out their property is to, of course, do a credit check and do not ignore red flags. So there were red flags in my situation. When I got their application, I did their credit check. And I'm not saying that red flags automatically mean it's a no go. I just mean that it should be looked into a little bit more.
Thank you, Shanna, for shooting the sheet with me today. Now that we've heard her perspective, let's hear from her husband, who was equally affected. Please welcome Chris Ricketts. Chris!
Hello, boy.
What did you have to drink to suppress your frustrations after seeing the mess for the first time?
It was like, the cartoons when you see that dollar sign and then the numbers just keep going up and up and up. I was just thinking like that, like this is going to take so much money to fix this problem. But that night, I believe we went home and we had a bottle of Cabernet, my wife and I both. And she doesn't normally drink, but that night she was more than willing to have a glass.
What kind of wine do they serve at the horse races? Cabernet! And how would you describe the smell in that unit?
It smelled kind of like if you had a full dumpster of trash and you open the lid, jump right in and close it right behind you. You're just engulfed by this trash smell combined with some rotting meat, because there probably was in the fridge.
Speaking of poop, I heard diarrhea is hereditary. It runs in your genes. That's right, every poop mentioned on my show is a spooky dookie. Anyway, continue.
The smell is gone because the whole apartment is practically gutted. The flooring is gone. There's 4 feet from the ground up of wall that's gone all around the apartment. The fridge was taken out. The junk haulers made the mistake of opening the fridge, and they said that was the worst thing in the whole apartment, over the poop that was on the toilet and the floor in the bathroom.
If you were to say one thing to the faces of the people who did this, what would you say?
I would say, what did you think was going to happen with you collecting all of that stuff in there and hoarding all that stuff just because you keep the door closed? That nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. They're going to know. How will they know?
This looks like someone just bent over and just shat right on the wall. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know. How will they know?
No, for real. I would probably total up all of the amounts of everything that it's costing to tear apart, remove all their stuff, tear apart this apartment and rebuild it basically from the ground up. Because right now we've already paid upwards of 19 or 20,000, and that's just to remove the stuff and rip the stuff out and get it clean.
Lord.
And now we're going to have to pay for all the things to replace, like the fridge, the cabinets, the counters, the kitchen sink, the oven, the vanity in the bathroom, and the toilet, and then all the flooring, all of the drywall. There's no drink that can suppress the frustration.
Chris, thank you for shooting the sheet with me today. My friends, I must ghost you for now. Until next time, goodbye.